Trump administration halting work on the Revolution Wind project, putting its future in limbo.
Right now, hundreds of jobs are on hold as the future of Rhode Island's largest offshore wind project remains uncertain.
We will not allow a windmill to be built in the United States. They're killing us. It's very expensive. But more important than that is it ruins the landscape. It kills the birds.
If you still support Donald Trump, then I don't know what's wrong with you. I mean, seriously, this latest decision is just unbelievable. The Trump administration had decided to shut down a project called Revolution Wind on Rhode Island. Now, this project is already 80% completed, with 45 of its 65 wind turbines already installed. Once completed, the Revolution Wind project would harness enough offshore wind to power 350,000 homes. It's 80% completed. The Trump administration just went and shut it down. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. I'm Sam Evans. You're watching the Electric Viking. Great to have you with us. This project actually created 1,200 stable, well-paying jobs in the region and will continue to support more job opportunities as the project develops. Now, in April, the Trump administration issued a similar stop work order demanding the Empire Wind project in New York halt construction completely. The order was quickly reversed after advocacy from Sierra Club and other environmental organizations, New York Governor Kathy Hochul, and residents who demanded the project to resume so the state can access cheaper and more reliable energy. And actually what happened was they threatened to take the Trump administration to court, and the Trump administration realized they were going to lose. We have a hot tip for Donald Trump. If you're worried about the rising cost Americans are facing, stop cutting off the cheapest form of energy. Offshore wind has the potential to reliably and affordably power millions of homes across our country, but Donald Trump would rather take this option away from Americans to bolster business for fossil fuels. We will fight back against this attempt to raise costs for our communities. Now, the truth is that this is increasing the cost of electricity in North America. Some coal power plants have been forced to stay on when they were actually meant to be shut down. And this is costing the owners of these power plants $1 million every single day, just for one of them. And we're seeing similar situations all across the United States, where those states don't want to continue operating coal power plants that are costing them money. The cheapest form of electricity in the United States is solar and wind. It's not fossil fuels. Now, when Donald Trump recently claimed during what was supposed to be a press conference about an EU trade deal that wind turbines were a con job that drive whales loco, kill birds and kill people, he wasn't just repeating old myths. He was tapping into a global pattern of conspiracy theories around renewable energy, particularly wind farms. Trump calls them windmills. Anyway, it's all pretty wild. Like 19th century fears that telephones would spread diseases, wind farm conspiracy theories reflect deeper anxieties about change. They combine distrust of government, nostalgia for the fossil fuel era, which has killed millions of people, and a resistance to confronting the complexities of the modern world. And research shows that once these fears are embedded in someone's worldview, no amount of fact-checking is likely to shift them. It's incredibly difficult to actually reprogram someone's brain once what my boys would call brain rot has set in. Although we've known about climate change from carbon dioxide as probable and relatively imminent since at least the 1950s, early arguments for renewables tended to be seen more as a way of breaking the stranglehold of large fossil fuel companies. The idea that fossil companies would delay access to renewable energy was nicely illustrated in a classic episode of The Simpsons when Mr. Burns builds a tower to blot out the sun over Springfield, forcing people to buy his nuclear power. This is kind of similar, isn't it? Eerily similar, what the Trump administration are doing. Back in the real world, similar dynamics were at play. In 2004, Australian Prime Minister John Howard gathered fossil fuel CEOs to help him slow the growth of renewables under the auspices of a low emissions technology advisory group. Meanwhile, advocates of renewables, especially wind, often found it difficult to build public support for wind, in part because the existing power providers, mines, oil fields, nuclear, tend to be out of sight and out of mind. You don't see it, so you don't think about it. Public opposition has also been fed by health scares, such as wind turbine syndrome, labelled a non-disease and non-existent by medical experts. It continued to circulate all around the world for years. Sounds ludicrous now, but it wasn't that long ago that people really thought wind turbine disease was a real thing. Recently, academic work on the question of anti-wind farm activism is revealing that conspiracy thinking is a stronger prediction or predictor of opposition than age, gender, education, or political leaning. In Germany, the academic Kevin Winter and colleagues found that belief in conspiracies had many times more influence on wind opposition than any demographic factor. TheConversation.com says that worryingly, presenting opponents with facts was not successful. In a more recent article based on surveys in the United States, UK, and Australia, which looked at people's propensity to give credence to conspiracy theories, Winter and colleagues argued that opposition is rooted in people's worldviews. If you think climate change is a hoax or a beat up by hysterical eco-doomers, you're going to be easily persuaded that wind turbines are poisoning groundwater, causing blackouts, or in Trump's words, driving the whales loco. Wind farms are fertile ground for such theories. They are highly visible symbols of climate policy and complex enough to be mysterious to non-specialists. A row of wind turbines can become a target for fears about modernity, energy security, or government control. The Conversation says that beneath the misinformation, often driven by money or political power, there's a deeper issue. Some people, Trump among them, don't want to deal with the fact that fossil technologies, which brought prosperity and a sense of control, are also causing environmental crisis. And these are problems which aren't solved with the addition of more technology. It offends their sense of invulnerability or dominance. This anti-reflexivity, as some academics call it, is a refusal to reflect on the costs of past success. Now, unfortunately, all of this has led us to the situation we're in the United States. The Trump administration is blocking wind power projects that would create many, many, many thousands of jobs. In fact, according to a new Center for American Progress analysis, more than 12,000 direct jobs and 5,000 indirect jobs in the offshore wind industry are associated with projects that have been or are about to be paused or cancelled, I should say, because of the Trump administration's executive orders attacking wind power. Included in this fact sheet is, information showing you of just what's happening here. All the projects that are being either cancelled or are about to be. There are projects all over the United States. Then what this is doing is it's putting the entire wind industry in the US into a situation where it's going to be cancelled, essentially cancelled by the government. And it's going to take many years for it to rebound back after the Trump administration is long gone. So thousands of jobs in the wind energy sector are at risk and essentially have been lost because the Trump administration is blocking wind energy permitting and blocking these wind farms. The longer this ban on wind energy permits lasts, the longer communities will have to wait for benefits from these projects. And the longer they'll have to keep on running old, expensive coal power plants. Let me know your thoughts. Thanks for watching.